Name one non-quarterback free agent the 49ers must sign this offseason. I like this topic.
It's the reunion. Sign Frank Gore. Frank Gore. Cost-effective, healthy. I don't care he missed that last game. He probably just said, hey man, I've done my job. I'm just gonna post it. I don't care. He's not injury prone. Versus you have, Wilson's coming off injury. I know he's more durable, but still, you got to still have that little flashlight thing in your head. Mostert's injury prone. Coleman, McCann, forget about them. Hasty coming off an injury. You need Gore, not for the production, but you can be that spell, that contingency safety net for you, and also better yet, that leadership in there that they desperately needed. That old head. They desperately needed an old head this year on offense. At this point, I don't know who the heck it's going to be. I know Kittle's ascending that way, but it's like, come on, it's more than just one person. You need a bunch of people. I mean, look at Fred Warner's ascension to leadership and how elevating he was for that defense, how they just echoed his tone from solid to him, and then for how deep it was throughout all their ranks on that defensive side of the ball. That's what they need on offense, just that old head, just prep these guys up. And didn't Mostert and Gore, they used to talk to each other entering the Super Bowl that week too, I believe. Yes. So that's something that's something Mostert's going to respect the heck out of. It's like, oh yeah, I love this. And then you can probably also still relegate Mostert back to his 10 to 15 carry type of guy. And then boom, now you're back to where you were in 2019.
Oh, that's a tough one to follow when you go with the fan favorite Frank Gore. I'm going to say Curtis Samuel. It would be an absolute luxury to bring in Curtis Samuel. But if the 49ers can't bring back Trent Williams, you're going to need to get the ball out of whoever the quarterback's hand is quickly. You're going to have to continue to throw those passes at or an extension of the running game. And you can't do that when Deebo Samuel is out of the lineup. I'm concerned that Samuel's injury, talking about Deebo Samuel, because I'm also talking about Curtis Samuel. Deebo Samuel, his injury history goes back years. He was dealing with hamstring problems all throughout college, had multiple injuries in college. I'm very concerned that this is going to be a consistent issue throughout Samuel's career. So now looking into Curtis Samuel, you have Deebo Samuel 2.0. You have an insurance policy where if Deebo Samuel gets hurt, you now have Curtis Samuel that can run those jet sweeps, can line up at running back, can receive those passes that are an extension of the running game. So it's more of a luxury, but seeing how important Deebo Samuel is to the 49ers offense, I think it would be within the team's best interest to get a second player that can do that. And yes, it'll be costly. I looked at his spot track value. It's projected to be around $10 to $11 million annually. So it's up there. But for a player that's going to get 120 touches a year, that I feel like he's capable of that, it's a no-brainer to me.
Okay, I have an offensive guy, and then I have a defensive guy, depending on who the defensive coordinator is. So offense, I want Dan Feeney from the Chargers. I think he's a guard, and I think that would help the offensive line. He's probably going to be, I'd say, one of the top guards on the free agent market. I think Joe Tooney is going to take most of the salary away, but I like Dan Feeney a lot. And then for defense, depending on if they hire Raheem Morris or Gus Bradley or whatever, I like Jaleel Adai, the Chargers safety. I think he would be a veteran, like third safety, backup safety kind of thing with Jimmy Ward. And then DeMonte Casey from the Falcons, who knows Raheem Morris' system and had an injury, so his value is a little low, and I think they can get him for the cheap, and he'd be able to compete with Ward and Tarvarius Moore as the three safeties.
The one for me would be Corey Linsley to play center from Green Bay. He knows the system. He's going to be plug and play easy first right away, be able to get in there. So that'd be the direction I'd go. They really need a center. Really, that also allows them to shift Brunskill over to guard, help him out a little bit. I think that kind of solidifies the line quite a bit. And then on defense, I agree. I'd say Michael Davis still out of San Diego. He's a long guy. He'd be a good corner. He knows the system, and he'd be a good fit, I think, on the defensive side if they could get him.
Okay. You guys have some really great under the radar signings. I'm gonna go like obvious one at quarterback. We're talking like upgrades over Jimmy G.
I thought you said non-quarterback.
Oh man! All right, fair. That's fair.
Damn it!
All right. Well, then let me just, since I'm not prepared at all, let me just give someone. Let me say, damn. I just think the Niners have to re-sign Jason Verrett. I think that's just as important as Trent Williams. I know I fail, but I'm saying I think that Jason Verrett signing, and it's maybe unlikely. They may not be able to re-sign both of them, but if they lose Jason Verrett, that's the best cornerback they've had in 25 years. I don't know that it's easy to replace that guy. They got to find a way to replace it to bring him back. Jason. That's what I'm saying.
Horatio in the comment section, he's got a good one with Aldon Smith.
It is a good one.
You know,
the thing with Aldon is it seems like he's playing more as like an inside rusher these days than as the edge guy the Niners need. But I actually haven't watched a ton of Dallas. Maybe they're playing him both. I just remember from the game against the Niners, his pressure came against the guard.
yes,
I've seen him on edge a good amount early on the season. They could always just kick him back out. It's not like he's lost it, or not at least it's not like him back. Oh, all of a sudden he went inside. He's not going to know what to do outside. But
yeah, great story.
Who do you think will be more expensive, Hyder or Aldon Smith?
Hyder.
Yeah.
Hyder.
Yeah, I mean that's what I think too. I was just wondering.
Yeah, no, good question. Good question.
Well, jump it off. Yeah, beat him up.
No, I mean,
Good question. All right, let's talk about Shanahan.
Real quick though, the last thing though, on the other part with the Smith and why it would make sense is that he wouldn't have the jump inside. He could just play on the edge because that's what they want to do with Armstead anyway. They want to if they bring him in the nickel and dime, he can play on the outside, and that does exactly what they're looking to do. And if they can get him for cheap, that's kind of where they go. That's kind of why the guys I went with, I was thinking were more on the lower end of free agents.
Yep.
Aldon Smith's a great idea, actually.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of what Bill Walsh did in 81? Who was the free agent pass rusher he brought in?
Was it Fred
Dean?
Fred Dean.
Yeah. It can work to bring in a guy who's about 30 years old. I mean, pass rushers age better than corners.
Yeah.
It can work. You make him bring him off the bench like you did with D Ford. Why not? I mean,
Would you
Elvis
rather
Duval
have-
was a little old, but Aldon Smith's younger. Probably 29.
Would you rather have
Aldon
Kerry
Smith.
Hyder for like $7 million a year, or Aldon Smith for $4 or $5 million a year?
I don't think you can pay Kerry Hyder, man.
Aldon Smith.
Yeah,
I don't think Hyder's going to get 7. He's going to be higher than that just based off of his production this year. I think.
Yeah.
Really?
He's going to milk it, and someone's going to fall for it.
Yeah.
Look what Eric
Someone-
Armstead parlayed 10 sacks into. This guy's got 8.5. I'm just saying.